If you have a sales team and you want to hit $1 million months in cash collected and beyond, likely your sales manager will never get you there. I'm going to share in this video why that is. I personally closed over $1 million a month in cash collected as a high ticket closer. Put another way, I know what it takes to be a salesperson that can generate $1 million a month in cash collected, let alone an entire sales team that can get you to that number. I've been on the inside. I know what it takes from the salesperson's point of view. Secondly, I then went on to train some of the top sales teams in the high ticket industry, including Alex Hormozi's old gym launch sales team. And I took them to their highest close rates in over a year. Now I scale high ticket offers to $1 million months in cash collected and beyond. And I've done that for multiple high ticket offer owners. So in this video, I'm going to share with you something called the 3 W's to a world-class sales team, hence the word W, world-class, and why your sales manager most likely is never going to possess those 3 qualities. And those 3 qualities are critical, not nice to have, essential if you want to hit $1 million months in cash collected. The reciprocal of what I'm about to share, why your sales manager likely won't get you there, is also going to show you what you do need to do so that you can hit $1 million a month in cash collected for your high ticket offer and beyond. So let's crack into the video. So you can see here on my iPad, $1 million months sales teams. And as I said, the discussion today is why your sales manager likely won't get you to $1 million months and beyond. The 3 W's to world-class sales teams. The first thing you have to understand is a clear distinction here, which is the 3 W's are not what it takes to maintain a $1 million month sales team. In other words, these are not things that you need to have running when you've got a sales team that's at $1 million a month. These are the things that get you there. And there is a difference between those 2 things. If you're thinking, I just need to know what a $1 million a month sales team looks like and feels like and operates like. No. Because to get there is a very different process to being there and sustaining it, keeping the team trained, keeping the team motivating. The key word there being keeping, maintaining, or managing the status quo. As I said, a manager is likely not going to get you to that point, although they might be able to maintain you at that point once they're there. We're starting to get into the crux of this video here, which is managers manage. They maintain the status quo. Do you want to maintain the status quo for your high ticket offer right now? No, you want to grow your high ticket offer, not maintain anything. And a key simple bit of physics here, you probably know this, but just a gentle reminder, the force or the effort or the work that needs to be put onto an object that is currently stationary or moving at a certain speed to get it to move at a quicker speed is very different to the force that you need to put on an object to maintain it. In fact, it's vitally different. If something is already moving, you don't have to put any force on it. So long as there's not a force counteracting it, you don't have to put any force on an object that already has momentum. This is the key distinction. To get a sales team to $1 million a month in cash collected, you need 3 W's to get you there. Once you're there, that is a completely different story. And quite frankly, it's something that a sales manager may be able to actually manage. So you want to get to $1 million a month in cash collected. How do you do that? You need 3 different things. W number 1 is the word want. Now, to put force, to put effort onto something, the very first thing it requires is a desire to do so, a want to do so. If you don't want to do something badly enough, the likelihood that you put the time, the effort, the mental brain power onto something is basically 0. Again, nothing I'm going to say in this video is rocket science. It's just probably something you've never sat down and thought, and you've been banging your head against the wall for months or years trying to get your sales team to higher close rates, higher cash collected, and ultimately $1 million months and beyond. And you probably never thought through what I'm sharing in this video, even though it is very simple. So the want of a sales manager to get your team to $1 million a month in cash collected, I'm going to share with you right now why it's basically 0. And you're thinking, what? No, of course my sales manager, who I am paying, maybe a base salary and a percentage, wants to grow my offer to a higher number, $1 million a month and beyond. Actually, no. And there's 2 reasons for that. If you understand about desire or want, it comes from 2 different places. You have intrinsic want and you have external want. In other words, you want something because it's who you are as a person, or you want something because of the reward outside of you that you can get. I'll say that again. You either want something because it's who you are inside of you, intrinsic motivation, or you want something because the reward outside of you, key distinction here, is something that you want. Now, let's break that down for a sales manager. Do you believe that a sales manager, in fact, a manager in anything, is the type of person that intrinsically wants to be the best of the best, world class, number one in their industry? If you do, maybe you should just cut this video now because you might just have crazy naive views. The type of individual that is a manager has chosen to go into managing, or we could say forced themselves into managing because they don't have this first W, is not the type of person that wants to grow something intrinsically. They are not the Michael Jordans of the world. They are not the Kobe Bryants of the world. They are not the Elon Musks of the world. They are not the Steve Jobs of the world. Managers. If you don't understand that, you'll get stuck at this first hurdle. When you realize and see things for what they truly are, the truth will set you free. And in this case, the truth will earn you $1 million months in cash collected for your high ticket offer. First thing you have to understand, your sales manager is not the type of individual that intrinsically wants to be the best of the best. They are not called internally for that. Key example is they probably were a salesperson before they became a sales manager. They likely never hit more than $20,000 a month in commissions. At a push, maybe $40,000. I have 5 high-ticket closers inside my Unicorn Closer Mastermind that have not moved on to sales managing, that have all earned over $100,000 a month in commissions and closed in cash collected $1 million a month. And they've all done that within 17 months. Most sales managers have been managers for years, and they've been in the sales industry for years or decades, yet they never made any real money. First reason they never made any real money is the key to being world-class. The first W is wanting it intrinsically. Who you are is someone that just isn't fucking willing to settle. If you want to hit $1 million a month, you have to realize you can't be the type of individual that is willing to settle to get something to the 0.001% of the industry. Because that's what $1 million months are. They are the 0.01% of the entire sales industry. To get to that level, the desire level needs to be massive. It needs to be sustainable. It needs to be powerful. It needs to be potent. A sales manager does not have that intrinsic desire, or they would have been one of two things. A sales rep that was making $100,000 a month in commissions or beyond and carried on doing that, and they would be making more than they're probably making managing your sales team. Or they would have gone into business or some type of consulting or some type of entrepreneurial pursuit, not managing, not quite frankly, babysitting salespeople and managing sales teams and fixing things that are breaking and maintaining the status quo, which is what the role of a manager actually is. So first thing, hopefully this is clear, they don't have the intrinsic motivation or the want to actually get you to $1 million a month and have a trophy up on their wall, maybe a ClickFunnels trophy or some other type of trophy, or even just a mental trophy. Holy shit, we are the 0.01%. They don't care about that stuff because their track record as a manager and previously as a salesperson proves that. They just aren't that person. Second thing is external. You might be thinking, well, okay, they're not the Michael Jordan of the world of sales or sales managing or scaling offers, but I'm paying them, and I'm paying them percentage maybe. So if we double the business, if we triple the business, they'll earn 2 or 3 times more money. You're confused, thinking that they're motivated by making an extra 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a month. And even 50 grand. That's if they put all the work in and have all the stuff that we're going to get into in the rest of this video and execute all of that stuff, which is hard work to actually get to $1 million a month. They're going to make an extra 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand a month. You might be thinking, that's amazing. All they're doing is managing my team. They never had to take risk on. They didn't have to build the business. They're not paying for the leads. You might be thinking an extra 30 to 50 grand a month is great. That is your perspective of money. And as a high ticket offer owner, you like money. That's why you became a high ticket offer owner. Sales managers, they aren't motivated by a Lamborghini. Does your sales manager have a Lamborghini? Do they have a Lamborghini on their wrist? Do they live in an insane view of the sea mansion? Have they retired their parents? The answer is likely no. They probably wear a cheap fucking 10K Rolex, drive a medium-level sports car at best, and live in a 3-bedroom apartment in Miami or a small house somewhere. The point is, the type of person that is motivated by money, you can see it in their lifestyle. They are a freaking baller. That is the person that wants money, like myself. I love money. I want to make more money. That's the type of person that's going to scale an offer to $1 million a month and get money for doing that because they actually want more money. A sales manager, and again, going back to their history as a sales rep, they probably stopped at $20,000 to $40,000 a month commissions, probably 40K commissions one time, because they didn't actually truly want the Lamborghini, to fly on private jets, to always go to awesome places, to be in the VIP places. They're just not that motivated by money. So you've got this individual who you want to put in all this hard work to scale your offer, fire people, which is uncomfortable, hire people, which is very time consuming and frustrating to go through rounds and rounds of interviewing to find the right high ticket closers if you don't have a direct source to great unicorn closers like I have in my Unicorn Closer Mastermind. And all the other things that need to be done to scale an offer to $1 million a month in cash collected and beyond. And you think the person that's going to do that is someone that intrinsically doesn't care to be in the 0.01% and financially doesn't really care about buying a Lamborghini or having an extra $30,000 a month. They are comfortable at the current income that you're paying them, their base salary and their percentage. They're more comfortable there than the desire for them to get out their comfort zone and pull their finger out of their ass and actually do the work. They're more comfortable just making $20,000, $30,000 a month from the base salary and the percentage you give them right now. I hope this is clear. I cannot make it any clearer. So let's get into the second thing. Hopefully you understand now. Your sales manager just doesn't have the want to put in the work to get a sales team up to $1 million a month, neither intrinsically nor externally. Second one is the what. Does your sales manager have experience being a closer that generated $1 million a month? No. What about $500,000 a month? No, probably not. Therefore, they just don't know what it takes. They don't know how to write $1 million pitch like I used to earn over $100,000 a month in commissions as a closer and close over $1 million a month in cash collected. They don't know what that is. They've never used one or written one. They just think a pitch is some bullet points. Key thing that I implement into a business, and it's doubled businesses literally just from this one implementation, is $1 million pitch. A word-for-word script, not for the discovery part of the sales call, but for the piece of the sales call where the closers all present the offer, and currently they're all guessing and they're all doing different things. Some are sharing slides, some are sharing bullet points. They're all making it up. I give a word-for-word scripted document that all your closers read verbatim that is a copywriting and persuasion masterpiece called $1 million pitch, hence $1 million months. That has doubled high-ticket offers by doing nothing else but installing $1 million pitch. It allows you to increase your price point, it increases your close rate, it increases the conviction of the closers, and many other things. Anyway, the point being, someone who's never generated $1 million a month in cash collected cannot show you the blueprint to get back from that place because they've never been there. Neither have they scaled offers to $1 million a month in cash collected. So what blueprint are you expecting them to use? Throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks while it's your ad spend that they're guessing with, playing guessing games with, and going back to point number one, they don't want to take that risk on their shoulders. Number one, because they're not motivated to, hence point number one, the want. Number two, because they don't know what to do, and so they don't want to take a risk on something that's going to fall back on their head when they are just guessing. So the second point here to building a world-class sales team is having a blueprint of what a world-class sales team that generates $1 million a month in cash collected actually looks like. What are the pieces? What is the infrastructure? What type of closers? How does it all cohesively run together? If a sales manager does not have the blueprint, it is almost nigh on impossible that they're going to get to $1 million a month on that sales team for your high-ticket offer. Does this make sense? So we've got the want. They don't have the intrinsic or the external motivation to actually put in the work to do it. Even if they did, they don't know what to do. They've never been there. They've never been there as a salesperson. They don't know the type of closer that can actually generate and be a unicorn closer generating $400, $500, $800, even $1 million a month in cash collected single-handedly. And I say single-handedly because $1 million a month sales team is not a sales team that has 10 reps, even 7. I have sales teams inside my Unicorn Closer Mastermind that are doing $4.3 million a month with 3 closers. 3. So, and 2 setters. So most sales teams can get to $1 million a month in cash collected with 2 to 4 closers if they are trained the right way, or they're just simply unicorn closers like the ones I have in my Unicorn Closer Mastermind. Going back to the main point with the second W, the what to do is something that your sales manager has 0 experience of. Let's just say they've done it once. Well, if you've done it once, you don't know if it was just luck or, you don't have a plan to fall back on. I've done it now for multiple high-ticket sales teams. $1 million a month, $1 million a month, $1 million a month. I've taken multiple high-ticket closers to $1 million a month. I took myself to $1 million a month. I have a business partner that also assists with scaling high-ticket offers to $1 million a month. He writes the $1 million pitch. He's built multiple businesses to $1 million months. and beyond. So the point is, if you want to hit $1 million months, the second W to building a world-class sales team is having experience and therefore knowing what to do to build a world-class sales team. Does this make sense? Hopefully it does. All right. The third and final one is the who. Let's imagine a reality for the third and final W to building a world-class sales team that generates $1 million a month in cash collected for your high-ticket offer, where the sales manager does have the want, intrinsic, external, both. They also have the what. They know the blueprint, not because they've done it though, but because someone handed it to them, as an example. The third and final one is the who. The type of individual that can take a sales team that is average, mediocre, or has usually a sales team. Tell me if this is yours. They have like one closer that's holding the whole team together and is doing like double the rest of the closers per month. That's most sales teams that are not at $1 million months in cash collected. The type of individual that comes into a business that can fire up those closers, not fire them, fire up those closers, train them, inspire them to go to the next level and teach them things like how to execute $1 million pitch, how to run their day-to-day schedule so they don't get burned out, how to have internal mastery, et cetera, is not someone that just has the plan to do that. There's someone that lives, breathes, and embodies that, and therefore is a leader and someone inspiring that can actually get the sales team to do the things that they need to do. There are a lot of people out there that know what to do, but they can't get sales reps to do it. And that is the who. A sales rep that's making $20,000 a month in commissions, cash collecting $200,000 on an offer that's doing $300,000-$400,000, and the sales manager's taking home $20,000 a month in commissions, maybe 30, maybe 40. That sales rep is not going to listen to the sales manager who's saying, by the way, you're doing your calls this way. That's not going to get us to $1 million a month. You need to do this, 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 and this. The sales rep won't say it to the sales manager, not often, but is in their head is thinking, screw you. I'm not listening to you. You're just a sales manager. You're just a sales manager. They don't respect that person. They don't look up to that person. They don't actually believe that person has it in their best interest, meaning this sales manager can actually get me richer. The sales manager is not that person. Most sales managers, if not all. So you need the right type of person that can motivate someone, that can move the masses, that can get your sales reps off their ass and actually going to the next level. Likely, that is not a manager. Someone that manages things for a living, hasn't got out their own comfort zone, has never been in the top 0.1% of any of their things, like as a sales rep, like I was in the 0.1%, a unicorn closer. They're just not going to be able to rally the sales team together. And I'll give you a very tangible example. When I bring on a high-ticket team to scale them to $1 million a month in cash collected, the first thing I do is I have a conversation with the business owner. And almost every time when I ask the business owner, what is the challenges that you're having right now, which in an ideal world, if you could wave a magic wand, I would be able to come in and solve for you. And yes, they say close rate. They say, the closers are making up their pitch, and therefore they're screwing deals at the offer stage. The closers don't have internal mastery. They say all of those things. But the one thing that is consistent across sales teams that are not at $1 million a month in cash collected, that the business owner wants them to be, they always say, my team are just dead inside. Like, they're not fired up. They're not inspired. They're taking the easy leads. They're closing the easy leads. They can't be bothered to go to the next level. And you might be thinking, well, why don't I just fire the reps? You could, and you could definitely replace them with some unicorn closers like I have in my mastermind. But if your offer is not a unicorn offer yet, they won't be interested in joining your offer. They want to join an offer that's already doing $500,000-$600,000 a month, if not more, and also depends across how many closers. Not $500,000 a month across 10 closers, because then their income expectation is, this isn't enough to even get me excited. So anyway, the point is, you need to bring someone in that can actually lead your sales reps, someone that can inspire them. And so when I come into a sales team, one of the first things I do is I get on the same side of the table and say, I made over $100,000 a month in commissions. I've trained Alex Hormozi's sales team. I've scaled multiple teams to $1 million months in cash collected to being some of the best sales reps in the world that exist right now. And if you want to retire your parents, like I've done, have the watch, like I have, travel on private jets, like I have, et cetera, I can help you get there. That is a very different inspirational, and that's not exactly how I say it, but that's a very different inspirational entry point to, by the way, you need to do your details in the CRM. You need to actually call your leads. You need to actually have a scriptless conversation. You need to read your $1 million pitch. You can't tell someone what to do before that person wants to listen to you. It's like the quote, People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And there's a slightly different version of that, which is people don't care what you're telling them to do until they want to listen to you. And so for most sales managers, the biggest challenge that they have with their sales reps is getting their sales reps to listen to them. Even if what they're saying, the what, which is the second W here, could be the blueprint to scaling the offer to $1 million months in cash collected and beyond, could be the blueprint to getting the high ticket closers, the sales reps on your sales team to earning more money. If the sales reps don't care about who that person is, they won't listen to what that person may or may not know needs to be executed. So those are the 3 W's. Now, I'll say it again. Once a high ticket offer is at $1 million a month in cash collected, the desire level can be status quo because you don't have to put new things into the offer to get it to the next level. So at that point, you could have a sales manager. And I'm not saying to ever fire your sales manager. I'm just saying the person that needs to come into the business temporarily to scale your offer up to $1 million a month in cash collected and beyond is not the sales manager just staying in their position and you as the high ticket offer owner trying to press them. Hey, we need to grow. They don't have these 3 W's to building a world-class sales team. The sales manager is likely not the individual that is going to get you there. Second thing is, once you're at $1 million a month in cash collected, the what, the blueprint to get to the next level, you don't need that. You're already at $1 million a month. So yes, you can grow. You can go to the next level if you want. I've taken sales teams to more than $1 million a month. But your sales manager at that point, all they need to do is just keep checking quality control that the sales reps are doing what they've been told to do by someone that's come into the business and scaled it to $1 million a month in cash collected and beyond. And then the third and final one, the who. Yes, your sales manager still needs to be listened to a certain extent by the sales reps, but not to the extent that you're getting your sales reps to go above and beyond, to do more work, to grow as people, to get better at sales, to build your high ticket offer to $1 million a month. They don't have to do that once it's already at $1 million a month. They can just coast a little bit. And I know that might sound bad. You're like, well, I don't want to coast. Right now, you're not even at $1 million a month in cash collected. So let's cross that bridge if and when you actually get there. On that note, if and when you actually get there, the final thing I'm going to say is what's been staring you in the face that you may have read at the bottom of this iPad screen the whole time. Full disclaimer, getting to $1 million months is not easy. The things I've just shared with you, the 3 W's to a world-class sales team and why your sales manager likely won't get you there, will not happen and will not work if you don't understand this full disclaimer. $1 million months, sales teams that are generating that in cash collected are the 0.01%. To be in the 0.01%, you need to understand these 3 things. Number 1, you've got to have big balls. As the high ticket offer owner, if you like placing small bets, hoping to get big results, this isn't for you. You're not going to be in the 0.1% if you want to make small little marginal moves. You have to be willing to take big swings, huge swings, if you want to be in the 0.01%. You can't play little safe bets and be focusing on playing not to lose and playing small. You have to play to win, which requires many times getting your nuts and cracking them down on the table and giving things a real go that are outside of your comfort zone, that are scary for you. That is how you get to $1 million months, first of all. Second one, you won't hit $1 million months if you expect your sales team to be able to do X and Y and Z, whilst you, as the high ticket offer owner, can't lead by an example. I'll give you a simple example here. If you want your sales team, your sales reps, to close deals and get through objections, you can't be the high ticket offer owner that has all the objections when it comes to investing in your business to scale it to $1 million a month in cash collected. If you want your salespeople to close paid in fulls and close on one call closes, when you make an investment in your business, you have to lead by that example. You cannot expect more of other people than you are willing to demonstrate and exemplify yourself as the leader and the owner of your business. It all falls down to you at the start and the end of the day. If you want paid in fulls, be the person that does a paid in full. If you want one call closes, don't be the high ticket offer owner that when you jump on a sales call to invest in your business, take it to $1 million a month, you say, well, I need a few days to think about it. Be the person that pulls the trigger, and then your sales reps, you can either share this story with them or not even literally. It is energetic. If you understand anything about spiritual laws, which we won't get into right now, when you change who you are as a business owner, your sales reps and your reality will start to shift simply because you're on a different frequency. You're on the frequency of a 0.01% high ticket offer owner. Whereas right now, you're on the frequency of just another mediocre average high-ticket offer owner that's probably at somewhere between $250,000 and $500,000 a month. You want to be at $1 million months and beyond. Third and final one, full disclaimer, $1 million months. Money loves speed. If you move slowly when it comes to how you move your money around and invest money and spend on things, you will get limited results or no results at all. There is many reasons for that. We're not going to get into that, but money loves speed. The quicker you move with investing in things, the quicker you're getting a competitive advantage on your competitors in the marketplace. While you're sitting and dragging your heels and twiddling your thumbs and procrastinating, your competitors are also watching this video. And one of you is going to take action quicker than the other. And that is the person that steals up the market share, builds momentum, and starts to dominate over the other competitors of yours in the market. Okay? So that is $1 million month sales teams and why your sales manager likely won't get you to $1 million months. If you want me to come in and scale your sales team to $1 million a month in cash collected and beyond, like I've done for multiple other sales teams, installing the things that I used personally as a closer to generate single-handedly over $1 million a month in cash collected for a high-ticket offer owner, the same exact things that I've taught other high-ticket closers inside my Unicorn Closer Mastermind, 5 of them within 17, or 5 including me, within 17 months have all used this same exact blueprint to hit $1 million months in cash collected. As closers, we've all earned over $100,000 a month in commissions, and the same exact blueprint that I installed into Alex Hormozi's old gym launch sales team. If you want access to me to come in to just do this for you inside your business, below this video, there'll be a link to apply. Fill in the details. I'll read that through, and if it seems like it's worth a further discussion, I'll reach out to you and we'll have a chat. To $1 million months in cash collected and beyond, this is what it's going to take. Remember that full disclaimer. You have to actually take action, take big swings. You can't expect more of your sales team than you're willing to do yourself, and money loves speed. I'll see you either in the next video, or if we end up working together, I'll see you one-on-one on a call together.